Good evening from New York. I am Selwyn Collins, your host of CWS Journeys. Welcome. Those of you joining us for the first time, we are happy to have you tune in. CWS Journeys is about having conversations with people about their journey in life and how they use their gifts and talents to help others. So I'm always inspired by people who have a story to tell. I believe that we all have stories, and we are never more connected than when we share those stories. And I love to invite people to imagine telling your story, not just about your successes, but some of your challenges. And someone listening to you is inspired by that story, inspired that you were able to get up when you fell. And imagine that person one day becoming a person of note or someone who contributes to society in a meaningful way, someone who discovers a vaccine that saves millions of lives. I mean, I say this thing over and over, but I can't say it enough because I think it is important that this particular message is heard. Tonight we have a very interesting gentleman. I just met actually, but I'm happy to call a friend.
I'm not going to take a break. He's on the other side of my screen. His name is Mr. Kevin A. Joseph. Kevin, good night and welcome to CWS Journeys.
Good night, Selwyn. Thank you very much. It's a great intro.
Thank you.
Yes, we can call each other friends.
Yes, well, Kevin is a New York native from the borough of Brooklyn. He began dancing at the age of 10 on the streets of East New York, Brooklyn, as part of hip-hop's first generation. As a student at Borough of Manhattan Community College, Kevin began his formal dance training with, is this Diane Harvey?
Diane Harvey.
Diane Harvey, thank you. And trained at the Alvin Ailey American Dance Center and Dance New Amsterdam, formerly called Dance Space Inc. Look, Kevin, you have a long bio, so I'm just going to stop it right here and let's get right into this, right? Okay. But before I go in, your real love is for making sure kids get a taste of performing arts and understanding its relevance to life.
Mm-hmm.
Let's start here.
Okay.
All right. How are you working with children to make sure they get a taste of performing arts?
Well, I think, as you know, I'm co-executive director of Pure Elements and Evolution in Dance. Mm-hmm. And one of our programs is to, all of our programs actually are to ensure that students are either training in performing arts, and that being dance, or getting exposed to the arts and being able to connect and have those conversations that you may not be able to have every day.
Mm-hmm. What excites you about this program?
Watching them change, watching the light bulb go off, watching them realize that, wow, I'm actually good at something, and watching them excel.
You've been a dancer for a while, Kevin.
A long time.
For the longest while. But that you mentioned children, it intrigues me. When did this start, this idea to work with children in that capacity, introducing them to performing arts? When do you remember getting that particular itch to do it?
You know, I think initially I was kind of thrown into teaching. It was like, that's what you do as a training dancer. Like you train, and then it's like, okay, go teach that class. In order for you to get better and really understand your craft, it's a great way to do that is by teaching and sharing what you love onto our youth. But I think the bug really hit me when I was on tour. And I would go to all these other either countries or cities, and the kids were so hungry. They were so hungry for whatever we brought. Mm-hmm. They didn't have to speak the language. We knew our common language was dance. And you came back home and you saw sometimes how either kids took advantage of what they had here in New York, or maybe they just didn't have that connection to excel. And they just needed that catalyst to kind of spark that thing inside them.
Talking about children, let's explore your child. Let me rephrase that. Let's explore your early childhood. Let's go back in time. Give us a glimpse into your life growing up at ages 9 and 15. What was life like for you? those two periods?
Okay, so starting at 9,
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't lived in East New York yet. I was still in Pepper-Stuyvesant. My mother was pregnant with me in Trinidad, and so she came here while she was pregnant. And so I spent my first 9 years in Pepper-Stuyvesant, kind of secluded. There was really no other West Indians on the block, and I was still sort of working with how to not use your Caribbean lingo and not being teased in school. So I was really still trying to figure it out, and then we moved to East New York after that, which is where dance really sort of jumped onto my life, and I just kind of grabbed hold of that. Which is where I met Lakai.
Oh, really?
That's where I met Lakai. I met him at 11.
At 11?
Yeah.
So what happened at 15 for you?
At 15, I was a breaker. I grew up as a hip hop break dancer, and we were competing in the streets with the cardboard. And
You were one of those?
I was one of those. With the hat sideways, with the cardboard on the side of the street, with the big boom box. And the battle could go down at any moment with the graffiti on the side of the wall. That was us.
Lots of movement.
Lots of movements. And that for me was like, that was my expression of who I was and who I wanted to be. You felt powerful, you felt incredible, you felt very superhero-ish. And I think that was my launch into developing my character, who I wanted to be in this world.
I've had the honor and privilege of sitting opposite several dancers, several very competent and professional dancers, like Lauren, Nicole Weaver, and so on, and Yannick Ron. And I'm always amazed at this intimacy each of you has with movement. It's as if it's a requirement to make this covenant with movement to practice.
Mm-hmm.
What is that like? I mean, to get where you are, what is it like? Lots of work, lots of dedication. Talk to me.
We said we was gonna have fun tonight, right?
Yes, of course.
Sometimes I don't like to say it's a lot of hard work, because I think with any craft that you're studying, you're gonna put that time in because you want to. So then it doesn't become hard work.
Wow.
But the dedication that you put in there is because you start delayering more information, and so you spend more time in the studio creating because you're like, oh, I didn't know that. But if you decided to either turn left, or if you decided to look at your partner from the right side, or if you let her go around you and then you picked her up, then it's a whole different story that you're telling. And then whatever story that you're telling and choreographing, it may change. It may change the whole dynamics of the story just by one little thing. And you're like, well, let's investigate that. And so it doesn't really become work. It just becomes more investigation.
Wow. That's interesting. So, early teens, 14, 15, you're breakdancing.
I'm breakdancing.
Right? So,
And now I'm in high school.
in high school. Let's fast forward.
Okay.
You're going to go back and forward.
Right.
Here you are today, artist and choreographer,
Right.
using modern ballet, jazz, hip hop, and African dance techniques.
Mm-hmm.
How would you describe this art of your dance style from the days as a Brooklyn break dancer to now?
That's funny. When I first walked into an official professional class, I had on my high top sneakers. And they were like, you gotta take that off. But I think over the years of training in the different disciplines and different forms,
So let's get back to you.
Okay.
You're talking about they told you to take off those sneakers.
right.
And then,
So I was fast forwarding from
okay.
training and the different disciplines, and I was saying that although hip hop is very close to my heart because that's where it all started for me, I think I have found a way to incorporate not just the technique of hip hop, but the essence of that movement into all the disciplines. And I think that's what choreographers do. You know, you take what's really dear to your heart and you fuse it together, and that is what becomes your style or your signature or how you want to proceed into this new story that you're developing.
What is one particular technique
Mm-hmm.
you discovered that made you that gave you pause, made you say, "Wow, I got something here."
Well, I think what's close to my heart is modern jazz.
Modern jazz.
That's my favorite. Yeah.
I'm gonna jump back.
Okay.
Great. Are any of your parents in performing arts?
Nope.
So where did this come from? Grandparents, somebody in the family? This passion, this thirst for movement.
Nope, not my grandparents. No uncles or aunts that I know of in the performing arts.
You left when you started this thing with the cardboard box, you break that.
Yep.
What drew you to that? Was it the things to do in the neighborhood? What drew you to that?
You know, everyone says that, hip hop definitely at that time, it was our culture.
You get like yours too.
That's what you do. What'd you say?
Attracted the girls. You can tell me.
Well, you got to be nice at it. But that's what it's what you did. That's what we all
Did
did.
you have a street name?
Yeah,
Okay.
it was Crazy K
Crazy Kid.
with 2 Ks.
Okay. So, okay. Which of your parents would you say influenced you the most where you are today? Not as a dancer necessarily, but where you are today. And how you are today.
Well, I never lived with my father, so
Okay.
it's only been my mother.
What is she like?
My mother she's kind of reserved, but she's very like fun and outgoing. Like I used to, so 70s, right?
Right.
My mom I would, let me go back. So the babysitter would come over, and her and her friend would be getting dressed, and the music is playing. And mind you, this is a very strong Trinidadian woman, but the disco is playing as she's getting ready, and they're going out for the Friday night party, club, whatever. So I would see that like weekend after weekend, and just you knew it was time when the disco music is going off, and it's 8-9 o'clock in the house, and they're getting ready. So she was very much into being with her friends and family and partying and having a good time. And I don't think necessarily someone has to be in an art form or that career in order for it to transcend. I think it's the essence of how they are and how they want to live. I think it's and what you do in your life, I think that combines together. And then now when it transcends, it's this whole nother thing. But it comes from that.
Who are some strong women in your family, right? That your mom is one that you mentioned.
Right.
Was grandma around? Is she still around?
No, my grandmother's not still around. My grandma was very stern.
Oh.
I think most people's grandmother. Well, no, I think some people would say that. They got the sweet grandmother. Yeah.
Yes.
Very stern, very strict, very by the book. Chop, chop, chop. Do it exactly like that.
What's your favorite memory as a child of mom? Your mom.
That would go back into Trinidad.
Good.
I feel like she was, every time we were in Trinidad together, she was very relaxed.
Oh.
And I think she felt very comfortable knowing that she was able to bring me back to Trinidad. And, when she was sending me to go get the water on top of the hill,
Yeah.
I think she was very comfortable. Like, I could watch her and she was very laid back. Like, yeah, go on, get some water.
Mm. When you hear names like Diane Harvey, Alvin, Ailey, American Dance Center, and Dance New Amsterdam, what immediately comes to mind?
Training facilities.
Ah. Training facilities.
Yeah. Diane, great teacher, amazing person, married to Abdel Salam,
Mhm.
another amazing artist, performer, mentor, choreographer.
Um, what is your reaction the first time she saw you dance professionally?
Diane became like a mom to me,
Ah,
you know, so for her to see me perform was, and I'm actually not sure when's the first time I saw that she saw me perform.
okay.
But I know anytime there was a project that I was creating, I know I would call her and say, could you come in, could you
I'm
come
gonna
into
go
this
back. I'm gonna go back to my question. You know, I shifted away when you mentioned your grandmother is no longer here. But give me three women,
Okay.
right, that have really impacted your life in a positive way.
Okay, so all right, definitely my mom.
Mm-hmm.
That's Sylvia Joseph. I really didn't live with my grandmother too long, so I can't really use that one. But I have to include my wife,
Your wife.
Dina Wright Joseph, which I'm pretty sure she's listening. But I'm really not saying that because she's listening. Because I met her 16 years ago, and it was really like that arc from turning into this young artist who just was touring and performing and really no care in the world, and then it was meeting her was that catalyst to converting all the experiences you've had traveling or training, and now how do you put that all into yourself, and how do you become this person now? You've got all this knowledge now.
Mhm.
How do you do that? How do you make this into this person, and how do you make this relationship work?
What is one thing? I'll give you three words
Okay.
that you think of when you think of your wife.
You said give me three
I'll
things.
give you three. I was going to ask you one,
Okay.
but I'm going to give you three. I know she's probably listening, so I'll give you three. All right? What are three things you think of when you think of your wife?
I mean, artistic that's too easy.
She is?
She's a choreographer and dancer as well.
What's that so?
You know, we just live this life. We just live this life. Selwyn.
All right.
Flexible.
Flexible.
And when I say flexible, I mean emotionally
Yeah.
flexible.
Okay.
Because she bears with me. She is consistent.
Ah, I like it.
And I would say the third one would be accepting.
Accepting.
Yeah.
What are most people surprised to learn about you when they get to know you, Kevin?
We started this conversation a little earlier today. I think one, you know, just before dance was, you know, my love for computer science,
Right.
and how I share both sides of the brain like
Yes.
that. And it happens all the time. Like it's on all the time. Like, you know, your left and right are working all the time. You want to be incredibly technical and you want to be artistic because you want to delayer things.
Which one wins most of the time?
Artistic.
The artistic.
Yeah.
Of course. Of course, that's the mother of creation. As a young child, did you have any idea that you would be doing this, that this is what you wanted to do?
No. No.
You got into dancing,
Yeah.
right? Great dancer.
Mm-hmm.
You met Lakai. You got into ballet and all these jazz and all these different
Right.
things. What made you stay? What is the appeal of dance to you?
You know, that's a great point, because even while I was in school, you know, I was battling with, you know, still furthering my career in computer science, or do I dive into dance? And I was struggling with that. You know, I was even like, I would go away to another city and come back maybe 4 or 5 days later, but I had these finals that I had to study for, and you know, that was getting very complicated. And I think at the end of the day, what I was starting to really be attracted to and fall in love with was who I was becoming. I think, and I think that is the essence of why I like to teach that because I liked who I was becoming as far as principles and morals and developing into this person that I don't think I would have become had I would furthered my career in computer science.
Dance introduced you to those aspects of yourself?
So let me give you the lineage. Okay, so yes, I would say yes, dance did introduce me to that because you end up being with mentors or other choreographers. And like I said before, dance allows you to have that conversation that you may not have on a regular day. It allows you to really dig deep and challenge yourself, you challenge others on these conversations that we kind of stay away from. You know, fear and sadness and joy and love and those things that we just don't talk about all the time. But we get a chance to talk about it when we are studying art. We get a chance to talk about, you know, why this feels good or why that doesn't feel good or why should you feel pain here. And it's all relevant because it's relevant to your life.
You talk about the language of dance, and you use it to express yourself. What are some times that the language of dance or dance help you to communicate in a way you would not have been able to verbally, or not as effectively?
I think that's more in a literal sense. And I don't know if there's a direct tie to a literal definition of that.
Let's try this without the definitions.
Okay.
Do you see, are there times when you're able to express yourself and pass on a particular message through dance without having to verbally express yourself?
On stage?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Definitely. When you're performing, you are communicating. You're speaking. It's not just the movement. It's not the flexibility. It's not how many turns. All that is nice, and it's all the attributes of dance. But really what you're doing is communicating.
If you were not able to dance the way you like to dance, or you enjoy dancing, what would you like to do?
That's a hard one, Selma.
Yeah, but let's try it.
Like a ball that would stop. Like,
Yeah.
Let's go. Go ahead. Sorry.
I think, wow. That's
Let's go for a low hanging fruit,
Okay.
first, and then we'll come back there.
okay.
What is this freedom that dance affords you that you talk so much about?
I love that part. I think every dance teacher or choreographer will agree with me, who's ever listening. But those moments when you are on stage and either by yourself or ensemble and you are just living on stage, you are free to think, you're free to speak, and no one can tell you anything else. Nothing is wrong. And I think that's the closest you can be to who you are and who you're supposed to be. I think a lot of times we are caught up with society on who we're supposed to be and what you're supposed to say and what you're not supposed to say. But I know to me, and again, all my other friends who are performing artists, when you're on stage, you get to say exactly what you want to say, move how you want to move, and that expresses the thought on what you want to say all the time.
I have asked almost all dancers this question, not necessarily the same way. But when you get on stage, when you hear the first beat or the first first beat of your particular act, who do you become? Are you still the Kevin that is sitting opposite me, or are you transformed into another Kevin?
Okay, I'm going to play that around.
Go ahead.
I know for me, there's a very distinct moment when I'm going to enter the stage. It's very clear, it's very distinct. but I think we transform in who we really are.
Mm.
And I'm not saying this right here is my representative,
Right.
but you get to drop all. You have to. You have to drop all the layers and all the pretenses and all the I hope I don't hurt their feelings. Or you get to drop all that. You just get to be.
Do you use this particular principle when you're teaching a class and you know that the reason why they're not getting your moves, however intricate they might be at the time, is because they're not letting go? Have you ever?
Yep.
Oh,
That's exactly what it is, and I think that's the biggest thing of trying to convey that to students. And they're young sometimes, and they don't really understand how to tap into themselves and be free and express
why do you love
and go. Transformation.
transformation?
You get to see it, and just being there at that moment. Like it's an honor to be there at that moment to see kids transform, even adults transform. You know, if you've ever been in a class and you've seen, you know, they can be dancer adults or they could be adults that just I want to be part of a movement class, but then when they at the end they're like, oh my God, that was so exciting and I never thought I could feel that. Like we should be able to feel that every day.
Kevin, if you were to imagine me asking you the perfect question about yourself, what would that question be?
That's not fair, so that's like giving me a deck of cards and saying, look at them first, then choose it.
I couldn't resist that. I just couldn't.
The perfect question about myself.
Yes.
I'm almost there.
It's okay. It's okay.
The perfect question about myself. How would I convey freedom?
Okay, let me ask you then, Kevin.
Of course I knew that was a setup.
How would you convey freedom?
It's by being honest with yourself. It's by asking yourself that question and then challenge yourself with your answer.
You know, a casual listener might say, well, why didn't you just ask him that? Or why did it just, go past this whole thing about what the perfect question? But to be here in the studio, to see the energy and feel the energy that that particular question evoked when I asked it of you. And by the way, it's the first time I've ever asked anybody this question.
It is. It was
Right.
a charge. I was like, oh wow.
Yes. So I am glad you rose to the occasion, Kevin. You are a gentleman and a scholar.
Well, like, that's what the arts do. There's no turning down. And I actually think that's just one of the things. There is always rising to the occasion because it's truthful to yourself. And I think without dance in my life, I think those are the elements that fall short. You don't know how to build that discipline to rise to the occasion or to stand up and to confront this issue that's coming at you or this obstacle, how to get around it. It's all problem solving. It's just doing it in a very creative, artistic way.
Lauren said that.
Oh.
Yeah, she said it's like solving a problem. This question before we go to a quick break.
Okay.
You have a daughter in Broadway.
Mm-hmm. I have two daughters.
Two daughters
Mm-hmm.
on Broadway.
One on Broadway. One is training with us at Pure Elements.
Wow. Do you, your wife, your mother,
Yep.
is also a creative person,
Mhm.
choreographer, and so on.
Uh-huh.
Would you say there were this time for this particular path?
Some people say that.
Yeah.
Some people say that.
You're smiling, Kevin. Did you urge them? Did either of you urge them along this way, or?
Well, they were both training with us since they were 2.
Wow.
But it's funny that you asked me that because early this year I had this epiphany. about realizing you've always heard the statement of your parents or your grandparents saying that whatever you do it for your children.
Right.
Right. I've always heard that, but I've never really gotten it until maybe early this year. And I realized that, yeah, they are two excellent girls, but it has been everything that you do in your life. And that's why it's so important to really live your life, because it's what you gain from your parents' DNA. It's what you do in your life and that knowledge that you gain, and then it morphs and it creates this new thing, and then here you go, you pass it on.
Brother.
And then it forms into, we don't know what, but it happened to form into arts with the two of them. It didn't necessarily have to do that, but some people would say, well, yeah, that was destined to happen. But when I had this epiphany, I was so excited to realize that and be like, oh, wow, really everything that I do, that their mother does, is really for them.
Let's take a break.
Can I say it? We'll be right back.
Go ahead, Kevin.
We'll be right back with Conversations with Selma.